And now, our feature presentation.
Hello guys, Z899 here, and welcome to this it's another tier list video, but it's going to be on a different topic rather than judging my predictions for the 2021 NRL season. This is just going to be going over the teams about the lot that I like, dislike, or feel indifferent between. So we've got 5 tiers. You've got love, like, indifferent, not a fan, despise. We've got all the teams here. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens as being a new age fan. So first off, I have to put this up. I support them. I have to. They have been a bit of a it's been from here to like to like it's a spectrum. It truly is. But I mean, I have to. Like, they're the local team. They're the boys. You know. You got to support the Knights. If you're from here, you have to. My whole family supports them, and that's just how it is. Now, the first non-Knights team, the team that's not the Knights, the Cronulla Sharks. It's gonna be like in between like and indifferent. Indifferent shouldn't be. It should just be like a meh or something like that. But yeah, I'd probably put it as indifferent. It's like I don't really have, like, I like some of their players. I mean, Paul Gallen, like, the G. I don't know how people from Queensland still view him. I think they still hate him, especially after his comments about the Queensland team. And then Queensland won. Thanks, Gal. But, yeah. So it teeters between indifferent and like. Now it comes to the North Queensland Cowboys. Now, they've gone through a rough patch, but I'd say I like them. I like the Cowboys. I mean, it's Jonathan Thurston. It's like they're kind of like Newcastle in terms of like they've got the small town mentality. Like, I know for Newcastle it's a bit of an oxymoron because we're like the second biggest city in New South Wales, but we still have that. Oh, it's for the boys, like low T type things, but it's like it's just not really a thing. But yeah, I like the Cowboys and everything like that. Now next up, if this team right here I'm putting them in like, however, if the Knights didn't exist or anything like that, it would be the Warriors. I mean, they've got a very passionate fan base. It's very hard not to like them. Like, I know they've been hard done by with, like, in the last couple of years, especially with Sean Johnson leaving. But they are probably my second team. Now the Penrith Panthers. I don't know. It's like I'd say indifferent because, like, they are a good team, and it's just, and they had that really good season last year, and then they lost the grand final. So it's one of those things. It's I have to stop saying it's one of those things, because I say it's one of those things and like all the time in these videos, and I know they're a pain in the ass, but it's just they're a team that's just there. Like, I remember, like 6 or 5 years ago, we'd usually play Penrith to, like, try to break into the finals. But yeah, not really. I don't mind them. Indifferent should be don't mind. Now it comes to the Brisbane Broncos, and I'm just gonna put them at. I'm not the biggest fan of them. I feel like not a fan doesn't mean I hate them. It's just it's whatever. It's like they are very, like, for the fact that they've been in the comp for as long as the Knights have and have achieved the success they have is tremendously respectable. But it's just one of those things. It's like they're a tough team to face, and they are fairly dominant, and it's just the reactions to it, really. It's very hard to explain. I'm trying to find the words for it. Let me give me some time. I think okay. It's just kind of like they've been like the golden boy type team. Like every time there's like a game in Queensland, all the commentators are all like oh, former Brisbane boys and type like that. So they've got like the pulling power of like the media kind of thing, and it's just like they've had great players like Petro Sinavasiva and Sam Thaiday are like my boys for life, but yeah, it's just as the whole team as a whole, I'm just not a fan. Now Parramatta, it's in between here and here. I'm gonna put them in like. I mean, I've always liked Parramatta. I mean, like Jared Hayne, the boy. Like, I know he's going through some rough times at the moment, but man, he was an absolute fantastic, fantastic player. And then you got like Nathan Hindmarsh, and then you got like a solid team now. Like, I was really happy when they back in 2019, they came from like dead last the previous season to challenging. They played the Storm in like, what was it? It was a semi, wasn't it? Yeah. Anyways, now this one is this is where the T comes in. The Sydney Roosters. Okay, let me explain. Before people start going off at me, probably saying that I'm only hating on them because they're arguably the most successful team currently at the moment, which it is a part of it. It is jealousy that is a part of it. But it's just one of those things. It's like some of the fans that the Roosters have. Just not speaking to all Roosters fans. Some of them are quite arrogant, but then again, in terms of all facets, like. Each team has their own arrogant fans. Like hell, like Newcastle wins one game, they're like, oh, we're going to win the comp. Then we lose one game, we want everyone on the chopping block to get sacked. But it's... I also kind of have a deep hatred for Jared Hargreaves. He might be a not lovely bloke he might be a lovely bloke in person, but on the football field, no, not a massive fan of him. I do not like him, but it's obviously I have to respect them. But I would say they probably are currently like the biggest antagonists in the NRL. Like they are the big evil. They are the New England Patriots of the NRL. They're like the team you want to see get beaten. Now Manly. Now obviously, as it has been made very well aware, in the mid to late 90s, Newcastle and Manly had probably one of the biggest rivalries in rugby league. Culminated in the 97 grand final, which we won. And every time the NRL replays that grand final, it's just all the Manly fans complaining, saying, for fuck's sake, stop bringing up this grand final. But it's one of those things. I actually don't mind. I'd say I'm indifferent for them. I don't mind them. They've got good players. I did forget to mention, like, in the, what was it, it was the Haters Guide video, this was actually brought up by National Sports Loaded, that I kind of overlooked Ari Cherry Evans, which is a very good point. I mean, he is a fantastic halfback. It showed during the State of Origin series. But in my defense, because there was a lot of criticism of him being the halfback for the Queensland team. But like even before the first game, a lot of people were criticising him. But ever since after Game 3, basically all of Queensland have basically been sucking his dick. But it's I don't know. It's just one of those things. I think he's a great player. Trebojevic players are good. It's just I don't have the same hatred for Manly as someone like my parents or like my older members of my family who actually went to games during that period. Now the Bulldogs, I put them in indifferent again. I can't really form an opinion on the Bulldogs. I think their fans are good. If this was like someone like my mum doing this, she'd put them down here. But it's... I've never had a problem with the Bulldogs supporter. It's just... they're alright. Now, the Melbourne Storm. Now, this one is probably going to be... like, I know, like, putting the Roosters down in despise. But where I'm going to put the Storm is probably going to be a bit interesting in terms of where I'm going to put them. I actually don't mind the Melbourne Storm. Like, yes, people like would probably consider like the big evil to be the Storm because they've been consistently like near the grand final and stuff like that. But it's just I don't mind all of their players. The only player I probably don't like is like Cameron Munster because he's got a bit of a. He also was at Byron Bay. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently he was at Byron Bay after Game 3, showing off his State of Origin medal to like the local women, trying to get some, I don't know, what's a PG or a kid appropriate thing to say. Beef. But nah, so I actually don't mind the Storm. I think Cameron Smith is probably the best player in the modern era. Like, I know people will never consider that because obviously Melbourne Storm were a part of the salary cap thing like 10 years ago. But it's an I don't care. Now the Canberra Raiders I'm going to be putting up like, I don't mind Canberra. I mean, I really actually like Canberra. They've got good fans. Like, I really want them to win back in 2019. But they didn't. And they've been really, like... I kind of hope they do push up into the finals this season. Because they're consistently, to me, like a top 4 level team. If they really go for it. So, it's a big gains for them. St. George, I'm just rather indifferent of. It's just it's like it's, I don't know. It's just like they're just like when you think of the word meh, that logo pops up. It's just you just can't really. I'm not saying they're bland, but they just got like no identity. Like they've had like good players over the years, like Mark Gasnier. Like, never forget his famous quote, "Fire up, you sad cunt." I think he messaged it to some woman on an answering machine. But yeah, St. George, I'm just indifferent. And I'll probably put the Tigers there as well. It's just I mean, they have Joey Leilua. That's it's a positive. They had Benji, the boy. Now we're coming up to the last two. It is the Gold Coast Titans. I'm putting him in like. I think I speak quite highly on the Gold Coast Titans. I think they've got a really good batch of teams coming in. Players coming in. They've got a good squad. Hopefully they'll make a push for the finals. Would like to see the Titans in the finals. And then lastly, South Sydney. I'm just gonna put them in indifferent. It's just one of those things. It's just I don't have like an abiding hatred for Souths. It's just they're there type thing. They are a good team though. They are a really good team. It's kind of funny how I just said, oh, they're just there. Even though in my fucking predictions video, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, I said they'd win it. I'd said they'd be minor premiers. So, but no, they're a really good team. It's just I don't have a abiding, like, I don't hate them, but I don't necessarily love them. So that is my tier list of the ranking of teams. And I am waiting to hear from Broncos and Roosters fans, but it's like I don't like despise. It's more of like a friendly competition. It's not like I hope every Roosters player and their supporters get COVID or something like that. Nothing like that. It's just Roosters have been really successful, and I don't like them because they're successful. It's successful is one of the big reasons, you know. Newcastle, being growing up in Newcastle, we all have a massive inferiority complex. But anyways, that's the end of the video, and see you guys later.